So welcome back. Today I'm going to teach you how to find motivation. The best way to do that is to, first of all, decide what you want to be motivated for. Because motivation only comes after a long period of programming, i.e. being motivated for such a long period of time that it becomes a part of yourself, it's part of your subconscious, it's a habit, and you are then compelled to act in that way pretty much every day, other than some of those down days where we do need that sheer discipline that I'll talk about later. But in order to be motivated, you need something to aim for, something to strive for, something to get excited for. You would have heard about finding your why, which is, why are you here on this planet? And to get motivated, ideally we need to find something that's bigger than ourselves, something we want to change, a group of people we want to help, some people that we want to inspire, or maybe just for yourself, but it's just something so substantial that it's going to get you out of bed in the morning. So we need to find a vision, a mission, a why, something that we can think of in our mind of, the reason why I'm motivated is because I want this thing. And that could even be material things. That could even be a wife. You might sit there and explore and go, do you know what? I want to be motivated because I want to go to the gym. But it's actually because I want to get in good shape and get myself a wife and a family and have stability, and you can go deeper and deeper here. This is coaching, and actually I want stability because I didn't feel like I had stability when I was growing up, and I had a bit of an unstable family dynamic when I was younger, and what I'm really looking for is security and stability in a family home. Wow, I want that so bad. And if that starts with getting in good shape and finding a woman that's attracted to me, that's going to get me out of bed in the morning, let's go. That's not superficial, but that's something relatively small. But you might have a cause, charity, or you might want to inspire a group of people. It could be something big and meaningful that's larger than yourself that gets you out of bed in the morning, essentially. And over a period of time of combination of thinking of those things and using that to motivate you with a bit of discipline, you will start to form a habit and you will start to feel naturally motivated because it will become part of who you are. Another way to do it is to hook it into your values. So values are essentially things that you find important. A surface level motivator, like I mentioned a minute ago, was going to the gym. Something else that I tied to that was actually a value rather than a vision and the mission. The value was security and stability. A vision and a mission could be something more like inspiring 1,000 women to feel better in their bodies, or could be to ensure that kids brought up with the right education around nutrition or something like that. I'm just talking about gym stuff just so that we can have a theme. But that could be something that's larger than yourself, a vision or a mission. But a value is simply something that you find important. And it doesn't have to be so substantial like stability and security in a home. It could be, I'm going to go to the gym because I want to be around long enough to see my grandchildren grow up because family is so important to me. Or just realizing, for example, with the health one, I'm being a bit of a hypocrite here because there's times where I can slip off the health train. You know, we're all human, and motivation isn't sometimes enough. We need discipline, and even that sometimes doesn't happen. So actually, let me just pull up another point here. Don't beat yourself up. You have a little slip, get back on the train, keep on going, because we're not perfect. Even the greats, even the Tony Robbins, they'll have days where he doesn't get in his ice bath and he can't be bothered and he doesn't do what he wants to do on that day. Those days happen, that's okay, you're human. We're here to live a full human experience, not just do one thing and motivate towards one area of our life. But yeah, we can tie our motivation to something that's important to us. So say, for example, we want to be motivated in business. The importance of that could be security. If I have money, I have security. Another value that could be tied to business could also be freedom. If you have your own business, you have freedom. You get to decide what hours you have. You get to decide what country you live in. And if freedom is a high value for you, you will be much more likely to be motivated to build that business than you would be to build the business just for the sake of it. So what I'm saying is find something to attach to your motivation to give you a reason to become motivated. And over a period of time, you'll find that starts to be embodied and you will be driven and motivated most of the time. It will sink into your psyche, into your subconscious, and it will keep you up at night and you won't be able to think about anything else. I'm at the point now where I'm trying to deprogram myself to be less motivated because I'm going to burn myself out and I'm going to work too hard. That's the truth. I wake up in the middle of the night with ideas or buzzing and stimulated with work, and you really can program yourself to be motivated. It's not just something that some people have. First off, decide what you want to work towards and why that means something to you. A vision, a mission, and a why is simply a reason for your existence, which is very motivating. And a value is simply something you find important to you. If you can decide either one or both of those things, tie them together, and then realize you can obtain that thing, and then decide what you've got to do to get it, you will be motivated to do those things to get that outcome. Simple as that. So if you're like, business can give me freedom. If I start a business, I can travel the world. I can take off as many days as I want in the year. I can not set an alarm. I can just walk to the beach in the middle of the afternoon if I want. I couldn't think of anything better in my life being able to do that rather than the boss breathing down my neck. Freedom to me is my number one value. And then you realize you can obtain that value through having a business. You'll find yourself working towards that business a lot harder and you'll be a lot more motivated for it because you're doing it for a reason. not just for the sake of it. There's another way to form motivation, and that's through a slightly more negative way, and that's like two ways. One of them is to explore the alternative of what will happen if you don't carry out that activity and you don't become motivated and you don't achieve the things that you want to achieve. We've all heard the scenario of the top regrets of people that are on their deathbed and the things that they said they wish they'd done but didn't. That's quite an extreme level, but just think about yourself in 10 years. In 10 years from now, if you don't become motivated and you don't do the things you want to do, where will you be? If you're looking at that future point in your life and thinking, that will be miserable, that will be unfulfilling, then that in itself is a driver. It's a negative driver, but it's a driver because you want to move away from it, which is motivational. So you can either have a motivation that's pull or a motivation that's essentially push. And another way, which is a negative way, but is still a way that works, is to tie it to something powerful to you, that means something to you. For full transparency, and there'll be people that criticize this because it's not the right way and the natural way of doing it, but for me it works and it serves me, therefore I use it. So I know that my primary driver of business and success is my need and my value of significance. And I know that that comes from my want and need to be loved by my dad. Now, I consciously and cognitively understand that I am driving myself forward in business to prove my dad wrong. I told you I wasn't stupid. Look at me now. That's what drives me, day in, day out. And although I consciously understand that, it doesn't stop my subconscious from running that program. That program is still there. I'm actually working on at the moment trying to turn that off because I don't need to work so hard anymore. I've already become successful. I've already proven my dad wrong. But sometimes it's hard to turn that program off. Bad programs that you're running around like I'm no good, I'm not confident, good enough, smart enough, clever enough. Those programs are strong and run in the background, but even the successful ones do as well. And sometimes they drive people into early graves. I've had seizures recently because I've been overworking myself. I think that could have been a contributing factor anyway. I'm authentic as it comes, like I tell you. There's disadvantages and advantages to this, but it shows you how possible it really is. So I program myself to motivate myself to prove my dad wrong. And I believe that for so many years, I guess, that it became a part of me, and I now just automatically am driven by it without even thinking about it. But if I'm to sit down and really dive into it, that would still be present for me. And there is a part of me that wants to keep it there. I could do coaching sessions and I have dabbled with them, but I'm resistant to removing that belief because I fear that it could stop my level of success. Now that is a limiting belief. So I just want you guys to know that we're all human. I'm still unraveling my stuff. Yes, I've become successful, but I still got confusion in my head. I know that this program in the background is driving me forward and making me successful, but at the same time, it's not necessarily making me any happier or any more fulfilled. It's working me too hard, and it's actually causing me to spend less time on things that probably would bring me more joy, like spending time with friends and family. I'm coaching myself right here. I'm ready to stop playing that program because it used to serve me, but it no longer serves me. I've achieved my outcome. I no longer need to prove my dad right. I never needed to prove my dad right. I needed to validate myself. I am clever, I am enough, I'm lovable, and I don't need to work so hard anymore. Now, whether or not that will be enough, I don't know, because I've spent so many years to program, but that was me genuinely trying to give myself a message. It probably won't be enough to turn off years of programming, but it will definitely be a start. Everything starts with a decision. Find yourself a vision, a mission, a why. They're all the same thing, really. Find yourself a value that you can tie to it, and also find yourself someone to put your two fingers up to and say, there you go, look what I've become. You said I couldn't do it, you thought I couldn't do it, look at me. And the combination of those three, I tell you what, you'll be jumping out of bed at 5 a.m. and you'll be doing the work that you need to do. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also drop your comments below. I'd love to know how you felt about this video and what came up for you, or what other questions you have, or what you've identified as maybe being one of your values or visions, missions, whys, or one of those people that you want to stick the fingers up to and say, told you so. I'd love to hear and connect with a new community over here on YouTube. Over and out, Raymond Taylor. Remember, you're in control. You are enough, you have enough, and you are loved enough. I'm Raymond Taylor, and I'm going to show you how to create a freedom-based online coaching business from scratch.